At the start of the movie, we see the screen of a computer that someone is trying to log into. The person finally gets in after several failed tries. He puts in his Wi-Fi password, which instantly turns on a computer's camera and shows the person's face. The person seems surprised that the camera turned on so quickly and quickly turns it off. When he signs into his Gmail account, it tells him that his name is Macias O'Brien. He then puts an app called Papaya on the computer and sends a text message to his girlfriend Amaya, who is deaf and mute, asking her to join them on a call. Video calls him. He shows her the Papaya app, which turns his words into sign language. Amaya, on the other hand, seems upset by this and starts to sign to him very quickly. Macias just stares at her without understanding her, which makes Amaya even more upset. She stands up for a second and tells him not to leave. Macias says he will wait, but his laptop stops working and the call ends. Macias sends Amaya a few texts and then calls her again, but she doesn't reply to the texts or pick up the phone when he calls. Then, Serena sends Macias a text message telling him to get on Skype for game night. Then, Macias tells Amaya about it and gets on Skype. He starts getting a lot of messages on the old owner's Facebook account and changes Twitter to Twitter check. He looks at the picture of the last owner, Nora Civ, but there's no face there. He then opens Nora's messages and sees that different girls have sent him texts asking to hang out. Macias is reading these texts when his friends call and invite him to play Cards Against Humanity with them. His friend said that his camera is very clear and very good. Matas laughs and tells them that he just bought a great new laptop. The rest of the group congratulates him, and then the game goes on. We are freed up again by Matthias's laptop, and the call ends. When Macias gets back on the call, AJ is talking about conspiracy ideas. He sends Damon a text message about how often the car crashes. Damon tells him that the trouble must be caused by the fact that the store is full. When Macias looks at the storage, he sees that it is, in fact, full. He tells Damon about this and says it's strange that the computer's storage is full when there are no files on it. Damon tells him to look for the big files with an app called Daisy Desk. While Macias throws Daisy's desk, the group starts to joke and laugh in the car. The research shows that a secret takes up a lot of the computer's disk space. Then, Damon gives Macias some directions, which show that there are 2 files on the screen that don't have names. Macias opens one of the secret folders and finds 3 files called Account the River in an untitled subfolder. The untitled section, which takes up 900 gigabytes, is the largest of the 3. He looks through the folder's contents and finds a lot of stupid movies. Inside, AJ tells everyone on the Skype call that he just bought new speakers and starts playing very loud music on them. Serena and Nari say that they have been. The others are amazed as Nari tells them how Serena proposed by putting a ring in her tea. Macias asks Serena if her mom knows, which makes Serena sad. Nari says that Serena's mother is in the hospital and is in very bad shape. After this, the other people quickly change the topic and lighten the mood, as the others talk about how happy they are that Serena and Na are getting married. Macias begins to watch a movie of him and Amaya together. Amaya calls Macias and tells him that she doesn't like how he's not ready to do anything for her. She tells him that she wants him to learn sign language, but he keeps trying to find ways around it. Instead, while Amaya is still talking, Nora's Facebook account starts to get a lot of text messages from someone named Erica Dune. Macias starts to look at them instead of paying full attention to Amaya, which makes Amaya angry, so she disconnects them. Macias learned from more text on Erica's account that she is Nora, the person whose laptop he stole. Macias tries to tell her that he bought the laptop at first, but when Nora asks him to show her the ad, he knows he's been caught. He tells her that he is getting ready to leave and will leave the laptop where he found it. But just as he's about to leave, he notices a bunch of new notes on Nora's account. When he opens them, he finds a note from Karen68 admiring Norris's work and asking her if she wants to do another. Macias gets suspicious when he can't find any information about Karen on her page. He asks Karen what he wants. Karen tells him he can't tell him on Facebook, so he should get on the river. Damon says he has never heard of the river when Macias asks him if he knows about it. Macias runs a river from the secret folder to see the application linked through several VPNs and open to an animated image of a boat moving over a. When Matta's friends see that he looks confused, they ask him what's wrong. Matta shows them what's on his screen. Damon says that the river linked in a way that can't be found. AJ says that it must be an app that lets you get to the dark web, which is where all the bad and criminal things happen. Then, a chat box opens with a number of people named Karen who are online. Macias looked up Karen on Google and found out that in Greek folklore, he is a fairy guy who helps the souls of the dead cross a river, connecting the worlds of the living and the dead. Macias finally tells his friends that he stole the laptop from the computer cafe where he worked. The laptop has been in the lost and found for a long time. He shows them the owner's Facebook page after that. Damon points out, backwards, the name is Karen. So, Nora Civ isn't the owner of this laptop. Karen, the fourth, is. Macias starts from the beginning and tells them everything. He shows them the movies, and AJ says that they were made without anyone knowing about it. When Macias opens the file call account, he finds $10 million worth of Bitcoin inside. At that moment, Karen68 sends Macias a message by water. Macias asks him about the job and finds out that Karen68 wants him to take a girl and torture her. The other people in the group get scared and tell Macias to stop the app. The screen starts going crazy with texts from America, but his friend told him to ignore them. Inside the box for the film, Macias doesn't say anything. Macias also finds a folder called Contributions that has several movies of stolen girls being abused. In the most current film, they can see a man coming into a sleeping girl's room. Before the video stops, he goes around the room and smiles at the camera. Nari says that the last girl must still be safe because she was still in her bed. She tells them to call the cops so that she doesn't get taken too. Macias gets a call from Amaya, but when he picks up the phone, he doesn't see anyone. On the other end, he sees Kelly, Amaya's friend, in the house and manages to get her attention. Kelly starts to talk to him, but all of a sudden, the screen goes black. When the video comes back on, a person in black appears behind Kelly and suffocates her to death. Macias' screen lights up, and he gets a message from Amaya's account telling him to give the laptop back. The killer then tells him not to say anything to Amaya and goes to find a place to hide Kelly's body. As soon as he leaves, all of his texts go away. Macias gets Amaya's attention when she comes out of the shower and tells her that Kelly has already gone. When Amaya goes to change, the killer comes back. When he sees Macias, he tells her to call Amaya over to him. He told her that he would follow her and that they would both trade at his place. After telling him that none of his friends or the cops should know about this, he leaves. Macias brings Amaya over and tells her to come. On Skype, he sees that his friends are going to tell the police about it. He stops them and makes them believe that it was all a joke. The rest of the group looks at him confused for a moment, then laughs it off. Amaya takes Macias. She didn't want to come over, she said. When he gets more texts, he has to try to get Amaya to come right away. Macias tells Amaya, almost in tears, that he loves and cares about her more than anything else. Amaya breaks down when she sees how sad he is, and she tells him she'll meet him. After doing some study, Macias finds out that the girl in the most recent video was Erica Dune, a 17-year-old who has been missing for a few weeks but still thinks it was a joke. What if they had chosen to take all the money? Damon asked Macias. Knowing that the hacker can see and hear him gives Macias an idea. Macias gives himself all of his money. Even though the killer tries to stop him, Macias still makes a shift. Then he tells him that he'll give the money back when Erica is back at our house safely. The attacker talks to Macias through his My account and yells at him in a fake voice that he can't let Erica go because it will get him in trouble. The river appears on the screen all of a sudden, and Karen tells Macias to say the code. The killer loses his mind and forgets about his plan. He tells Macias to give him back his stuff, but Macias won't, telling him that if he doesn't give him the code, they'll both die. The killer gives up and tells him the code. Then Karen asks a few more questions, which are answered by Macias. After the killer gives instructions, the application shuts down and the assassin ends the call. When Macias goes back to Skype, NARI tells him that she has found a girl from the last donation video. Macias tells her that he got the video from a leak that happened in real time, but she doesn't seem to be persuaded by this. Then, in the blink of an eye, an unknown person joins their Skype call through an account called Karen. There were a few more Karens on the call. On the screen, a film shows someone getting into Lexi's school information and finding out where she is. They notice that Lexi is no longer on the call. Then, a movie is played that shows Lexi standing on top of a tall building. Someone attacks her from behind and pushes her toward her death. The others freak out and ask if that's real many times, but Macias seems just as confused. Then, in order to force kick Lex in, the circle is put into the chat box. Amaya calls Macias and tells him she's almost at the train station. Macias tells her she can't end the call under any circumstances, but Amaya thinks he's acting strange. She does what is asked of her. NARI calls the cops when Lex doesn't answer Na's phone. Macias gets scared and asks her to stop. She won't pay attention. Macias hides the truth as soon as he realizes that Amaya has lost touch. He begs them to be themselves. When Amaya gets back online, the killer who is following her will also be connected and be able to watch them. So, when Amaya comes back online, everyone joins in. During another episode of Connection, the attacker asks Macias about Lex, and Macias tells him that she is busy with her boyfriend. Nari tells him that a police officer friend of hers is coming over. Macias lets Damon use the laptop so he can copy the information and find out where the lost girls are. Amaya is reunited. Shortly after this, Nari says she has to go to the bathroom and leaves the room. Karen calls them on Skype and opens AJ's Facebook page again. A group of people watch in fear as Karen cuts up the videos on AJ's. He tricks them into making an angry voice message, which he then sends to 911. Soon after, the cops arrive at AJ's house and tell him to turn himself in as he walks to his door. Karen uses AJ's computer to download gunshot sounds, which she then plays on the loudspeakers. After hearing gunshots, the cops open fire from outside and killed AJ in front of his door. AJ is then cut off from the call while the others cry. The killer sees that the circle knows he lost his laptop, so he tells Macias that everyone will now die. Serena and Damon hear from Macias that Karen is about to kill Amaya. Serena tells them that Nari is on her way to Amaya and could help. Karen gets back on the call and shows Serena what 2 security cams have caught. One was of her mother in the hospital, and the other was of Nari near the train. Then, as a timer, he tells her to choose. Beginnings in the background. Serena starts to cry and begs him to stop, but when the countdown is over, it keeps going. Even though Serena hasn't decided yet, Nari and her mother are both killed in front of her. Then Serena is killed in her own home. Amaya tells Macias that an accident has caused the train to stop. Macias tells her to go to the park, then gets on his bike and leaves the house to go to her alone. Damon tells the person watching the screen that he has gotten the laptop's location. Now, the cops can find all of the girls. Karen turns on Erica's video and swaps the assassin's face with that of Macias as a person dressed in black, a body in Macias's closet. Macias's cell phone account is then taken away by force. Damon tells Macias that they were set up for the whole thing and that they fell right into their trap. Damon gets a hard kick from Karen, and Amaya is added to the call. Amaya tells Macias that she is almost there. When Macias says he wants her to go to the park, she says yes. Amaya tells him that she got a text from his number telling her to go to a new address. The hackers then turn off Macias's video while using the Papaya app to lead Amaya into the building. Amaya is made to leave the call. After this and Damon are added, a man is seen pulling Damon across his room and hanging him to his door as Damon suffocates to death. A note that said he was bad was typed on his computer. Macias's car stops working right in the middle of the road. Then, he sees Amaya walk into a building that is empty. Out of the blue, a guy comes up to her and takes her. Then, a vote is taken on whether Macias should live or die. Macias is taken to his house, where Erica comes out of his room and begs for help. She puts her hand to her scalp and pulls off a bandage to show a huge hole in her head. She screams in pain, and the call is cut off. After this, the results of the NAP poll are shown, which show that a majority. Once Macias was dead, a card came and hit him, killing him on the spot. As we watch the live feed of game night, all the cameras from the murder scenes walk up to the camera and wave.